this conversation has kind of stimulated me trying to tweeze out which is conflict and which is, well, let me just get to the point. So on the subject of money, we have, on one side, we have this idea of credit and people lending me money, a credit card or whatever, and then saying, oh, you'll pay it back. And me being very optimistic and saying, oh, my vibrational escrow is all just waiting. And when those doors open, I'll be happy to pay you back. And then comes along and the cards are due.
Well, sort of like the conversation that we just had, words.
Yeah.
Words. Like if I say the words long enough and loud enough, it will shift the vibration. And we don't see the words shifting your vibration that much, do you? In other words, if you have what do you think is the underlying feeling? In other words, what vibration do you think, knowing what you know about law of attraction, if you want money and it's not flowing as fast as you want it, and you really don't want a lot of debt, but the debt is building, what does that tell you about what your dominant vibration is relative to the subject of money? The vibration, not the words. What is your point of attraction about?
Don't have enough money.
So that's more dominant within you. So what can you do? What kind of conversation can you have with yourself that will soothe that? And here's the thing that we want you to really hear from us. We want to have this conversation with you, not to get you out of debt and not to get your money flowing. We want to have this conversation with you because we think you ought to be in the vortex. We want to have this conversation with you because we don't think you should feel this stress of this financial conundrum. We think that you should feel ease. We don't think you should feel unworthy. We think you should feel worthy. We don't think you should feel unprosperous. We think you should feel and know your prosperity. So the conversation that we're having isn't about affecting your financial condition. A lot of people think, well, if I can just say enough affirmations and do enough processes, then I can get more money. And when I have more money, then I'll feel relief. And it's backwards. You've got to find a way. You have to be looking for the relief. So when we say look for relief, that's the exact same words as saying go to the vortex. Get in the vortex is the same thing as saying look for relief. So when you sit down here, your new words would be, I want to go into the vortex. And it doesn't matter what the subject is. I want to go into the vortex. However, it does matter what the subject is, because once you're in the vortex, different subjects will spit you out.
Yes.
Yes? Yeah. So you can get in the vortex. You can think about sex and get in the vortex. We hear your beeper. But when you get in there and then you worry about money, it will spit you out. And so what you're wanting to do is find any way in the world that you can to get into the vortex, and then tiptoe around the subjects that usually spit you out until they no longer spit you out. How does that sound? So the objective is to get in there and then contemplate things that usually spit you out in a way that you don't get spit out. And how do you know? When you ride a bicycle, how does it go? Did you just get right on the bicycle and start riding it? Or did you tip over and tip over and tip over and tip over? Did you find your balance? The other day, in fact, yesterday, Jerry and Esther drove the monster bus from Phoenix. And they parked it in a park that has a beautiful new section with nice big places. And they're big, and so that appealed to them. And Esther drives, and Jerry usually is in the other car once they're inside the park, and they have walkie-talkies, so Jerry can guide Esther and look out for tall trees or curbs that she might not be aware of. And so they really manage this big bus nicely. And so as they are moving into the park, a man who is new there is assigned to take Esther to her space. So he gets onto his golf cart and he's leading her to the space, and he makes a wrong turn and turns her in too soon, and now she's not where she needs to be. And he was so mad at himself. She can see him going, as he's walking. And Esther is thinking, oh, this big bus has wheels. we can just drive it wherever we're wanting to. In other words, it was so interesting to watch what had happened to him made him so angry that, Vortex speaking, it spit him right out of the vortex. And all Esther wanted to do was soothe him back in. She just wanted him to understand that it just didn't matter at all. That nothing in the world is worth nothing in the world is worth being mad at yourself about it. When we come back from segment of lunch, we'd like to begin with you if you want to.
That'd be great.
And we will sort this out, this business of being in the vortex relative to the subject of money, because it's something that a lot of people are talking about. And we want to show you how you can get in the vortex easily, and then when it spits you out, no big deal. Get in the vortex easily, and when it spits you out, no big deal. Until eventually you'll be able to have an in the vortex attitude about everything that is important to you. And when you do, now your life begins to roll in the way that you feel better. And then the manifestations will come too, but they are not the main event. Good time for a segment of lunch.
Thank you.